So where are we right now? We're finalizing the lease with John and his folks. We've got an option. I think some of you know that. That's on the agenda near term. We have a permit in preparation. We expect to file that in February. We are negotiating, continue to negotiate with the major timber suppliers in our wood basket. These contracts would be long-term, they would be firm. I kind of characterize it as a partnership, and it's very similar to that. Essentially, what we are able to do in the traction we're getting with the major timber owners is we're putting them into that energy business with a conduit by which they can have another product to sell out of their forest that helps them. Because right now it's kind of it's troublesome for them to deal with these piles. They burn, and it costs them money to burn them. It costs them money to do a lot of things with them. It inhibits their ability to plant. We're not talking about taking all the slash off the ground. I know environmentally some of it has to be kept there. What's really important are the needles. We really don't like the needles, so we're trying to put a supply chain together that integrates with the existing timber industry to get what we want and basically improves forest health. Nobody's more important than worried about forest health than the people actually do it. And we are trying to secure some long-term off-takers for the power. We put a joint venture together about kind of a marketing arrangement with Energy Northwest about over a year ago. And the first thing out of everybody's mouth, where's your fiber? How do you know you have it? You've seen this movie before. How do you know you have it for sure and what are the costs? And so now we're at a point where our plant's more or less designed. We've taken bids. We're coming out of the closet in a variety of fronts. We just now concluded our long-term arrangement with our equipment supplier. You guys are going to buy multiple units from us. We've got a good handle on we're 6 to 9 months into advance with major timber owners on how this contract would work. It's unique. You know, we think in 20-year horizons, and we're dealing with a business. The timber business thinks in terms of 2 weeks as a long-term contract. So it's been a difficult challenge to be able to knit those together, and I think we're making progress on it. And the last piece of this puzzle is the electric offtake agreement, because this all builds to $1 per kilowatt hour. And so it's not a cake yet by any means. One of the things that I want to kind of draw your attention to and invite you to, we're going to make an announcement in Olympia next Thursday. It's a little event. It's from 1 to 3 o'clock. And if I can get your email addresses, I won't get you a formal invitation, but we're announcing a joint venture or an agreement with John Deere, who we're all about brand. You know, Viva's a $20 billion company. Dodge is, Duke's about a $20 billion company. John Deere's a $20 billion company. We've been working with these folks to try to figure out how we get this material out of the woods in a proper environmental fashion, and how we integrate somebody who's really interested in long-term contracts or getting another product off of his land that he has. And at the same time, trying to employ some interesting potential new technology, whether it's recapitalizing the existing logging fleet or some new technology that would be helpful there in terms of being able to extract this product. This is that bundler we showed pictures of, or that bundle material. That's a standard operating fare over in Europe right now. And there's plants over in Europe that are 5 times the size, that are fueled almost 50–60% by this material. So we're making a little announcement. We've got senior executives from our firm, from Aruba, senior executives from Duke, senior executives from John Deere. The governor will speak, and it's more about the announcement in this project. We're going to have this little band here next week. They want to see the site. And what I want to do, to the extent that you can't come or you want to go to both events, John has basically set up a little coffee or a place to have coffee and a cookie over at the port. We're going to bring our guys by there so you can meet them, so you can meet some of the movers and shakers, guys who think big thoughts and have all the cash. So I guess I want to, the only other thing I'd want to show you is the wood yard. This does not look like a typical wood yard. This is a technical drawing. for a biomass plant. There's a big pile, and then there's this thing over the edge. And this is version 5, I think we're on version 10 right now. We're trying to, what would this thing look like? Build stacks of that stuff, or we've actually got a test ongoing right now, trying to figure out what happens when we stack it 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, in terms of the bundles themselves and the moisture. We're concerned about moisture. So, the real purpose of the meeting, and I told John, we said this a month ago, how do I like make an introduction so we can sit down and spend whatever time we need, you know? But I don't want to get ahead of myself and say, we have something. Okay, this is still a work in progress. There's still some pieces that have to be put together. We're going to make a $250 million investment in this community. You know, the aggregate numbers is a $40 million direct investment that builds probably to an additional $70 million in the community. And we've got a lot of people here who will become part of the community. And this is, you know, I live in Missoula, Montana. We just launched our pole building. There's 430 jobs plus in it. And this is an area that there's no outlet for the fiber. And I live this thing. Okay? And this is this new generation. This is a new thing to deal with. It doesn't mean we're going to cut the trees down. It doesn't mean we're going to put anybody out of business. Okay, that's one of the reasons I'm going to focus on the slash material. It's not necessarily the cheapest material item, but it is truly green, and with our current investors. I mean, I don't know of a company bigger in the non-carbon electric business in the world than Areva. I mean, the largest provider of nuclear services, they have 800 megawatts worth of biomass they've designed. And they've got a proprietary wind technology for offshore. We don't do a lot of offshore wind. And nobody knows more about taking wood, solid material, whether it's coal, wood, or anything, as a chunk, and turn it into electricity can do. So we've got the right DNA to put this together, and we've got the resources and the financing. And that's really the challenge now. The challenge right now is financing. It isn't a challenge for us, but everything out there in this business, there isn't any money. There's money there if you've got a $20 billion balance sheet, but a lot of these projects are not generated by companies that have a $20 billion balance sheet. So if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Lee,